This is the second of 4 videos to go over the settings. And remember, the settings is the gear, which is in the bottom right-hand corner. So in the previous video, we went over airplane mode to Bluetooth. This particular screencast, we're going to go over notifications all the way down to screen time. So that second little section there. So when I click on notifications, the first little section has three options for you. The first one is a scheduled summary. I have that turned off, and if I click the arrow to the right there, I can turn that on, and then basically there's what it does for me. I can schedule them at a certain time of the day. I can get what's important, and so I can set that up now, or I can set that up later. And so again, I'm going to hit set up later. I'm going to hit back button on the notifications. The next I have show previews, and so I can click that always. So no matter what I'm doing, I have it on there. And the last one in that little section is screen sharing. When I'm doing screen sharing, which I'm doing right now to my MacBook, I have all notifications turned off. And I always have that setting because it's kind of interrupts if I get a text on my iPad or somebody tries to FaceTime me. And so I always turn that off so that notifications are turned off. The next section is Siri suggestions, and so I click that right arrow there, and these are all the different apps that allow Siri to make suggestions for me. And so don't be alarmed if there's a few more apps on my iPad compared to yours, only because my iPad's a little bit more ahead of where you are in the course so far. So don't worry about that, and I'm going to hit the back arrow there. And then certain apps have notifications on them as well. I don't have on my iPad right now, but a big app that I often get a lot of notifications on is ESPN. And so I have that set so that certain things happen with my Philadelphia teams or Penn State teams. I get notifications. But again, there's some of the notifications that you can have allow on or off for that. So I'm just going to click on the FaceTime one. And when I have the FaceTime here, right now it's toggled on so that I allow notifications. And when I do that, you can see that I've allowed it for all three things. When it's in the lock screen mode, in the notification center, and also as a banner. And the banner style, I keep it as temporary. So it comes on and then it disappears for me. And so that's what that means for the banner style. For the sounds, you can click that and you can change it to whatever sounds you want. So you can play with that at your leisure. And then the previews are there, and then I can group things. So if I have multiple FaceTime calls that come on at once, I can group them so that I have one for my wife, one for my son. And so that's what that looks like. And that's what they're going to look like for all those different types of things. Next is sounds, and so I have a bunch of different sounds here. If you have headphone audio on, you can reduce loud sounds, and I have that turned off right now. My ringtone and alert volume are turned all the way up. So I'm going to change that and put that in the middle. And I can change things with the button, and so that's there. Sounds, for my ringtone, I have the opening. For the text tone, I have a note. For a new mail, I have nothing. For sent mail, I have the swoosh. For the calendar alert, I have a chord, and for reminder alerts, I have chord. Down here for keyboard clicks, if you haven't noticed already, every time you click a button on your keyboard, you hear a click. I turn that off, and so that's huge that I turn that off. You can have a sound go on or off as you turn your iPad into lock mode, so you can do that. And then you can have your iPad set so that the volume doesn't change if you touch your volume button to go on and off. And so that's what the sounds are. Next is focus. And so the focus, I have 5 different focuses: do not disturb, driving, sleep, work, and personal. And notice that I have turned on share across devices, and then the focus status is always going to be turned on. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. The second one down is driving. So my iPhone knows that when I get in the car, anything that's moving, it goes automatically to the driving mode. And so I have a personalized message there that says, let's see if I can show you what that looks like. Yep, driving focus of the activation mode, blah, 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 blah. Yep, so that's turned on. Do not disturb, you can set this up. So you can see that I have something set so that I have 3 people that allow notifications that when I have do not disturb turned on. And I could also have notifications turned on for apps. So for example, last Monday night was the national championship game. I could have had Fox Sports. I could have allowed notifications to come through on that, so I knew when the end of the game was. But you know what? When the score was what it was, I didn't need notifications turned on for that. And then you can customize the screen in terms of what it looks like for when it comes up for notifications. And then I also have a schedule so that I can automatically schedule something like Do Not Disturb, so that it automatically goes on at 9 and comes off at 7. Because maybe that's the time you go to bed and wake up. If that's the case, boy, I'd love to be you. So that's what it looks like for all those different types of apps. You can set it up for work so that when you're at work at school, you don't want any notifications. You can do that, and then you have the personal. So that's the focus. And then the last one is screen time. This basically is going to demonstrate to you over a course of time how long you've been on your actual iPad or iPhone or Mac or whatever it is that's there. And so you can schedule downtime. You can limit apps. So maybe for your kids, if they get on a certain app, like I think of Minecraft when my kids were younger, I would have loved to have had this so that I set it so that they can only be on it for maybe 30 minutes. So you can add time there. You can block certain inappropriate content. You can use screen time passcode. So that's great again. So the kids can get in and out of it. And then again, shared through all devices. So screen time is great for younger kids. Screen time is great for education. If you want to keep kids on a particular app, it's probably an administrative thing, but what we had there is notifications all the way down to screen time. So go ahead and take a look at some of those settings and see what you can personalize for yourself.